All right, everybody, welcome to the live. Justin, how we doing? IXCO, how we doing? Tim, new week of volatility, absolutely. All right, so New York. It is morning. I didn't have too much of sleep. Stayed up pretty late doing the live, and then I couldn't really sleep, but we'll get this live underway, guys. Sorry if I sound a bit tired. Okay, so Bitcoin, right? We hit the bottom of the 4-hour channel. Ty, how we doing? Good morning, fam. We hit the bottom of the 4-hour channel, guys, and we can see that Bitcoin bounced off of it perfectly. Pretty much right here. All right. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. Let's run up the live. But you can see that bouncing off of this channel right here, you did break the trend. Okay, so you broke a trend right here. You're kind of back testing that trend, even though you're bouncing off of the 4-hour channel, you're back testing that little trend that you broke. Okay, so the big thing here is manipulation into New York. We know New York has been constantly manipulating over and over and over again. Well, the question is, are we going to drop or are we going to pump? Great question. I would love to know too. Based on this move right here, we are most likely going to drop. The 1 hour is very, very oversold. However, this 4-hour is just straight coming down. The 18 hour is very oversold, but the 18 hour is coming down, and the daily is essentially coming down. Michael, how we doing? Good morning. Serious question for you guys, though. Do you ever sleep? Like, all you guys are on these lives, which is awesome. I appreciate it. We're kind of in a little rounded top right now. The first hour closed into New York. We have some manipulation. We have a little bit of a rounded top. If I go to my liquidity gaps here, let's see where Bitcoin hit. Well, the first thing is Bitcoin never really hit anything. So there's a possibility. There's a good possibility here, guys, that Bitcoin goes to 91.2 and then comes back down. It is a possibility. Will it happen? I'm not sure. But you can kind of see, as of right now, Bitcoin is rejecting that fair value gap, but you are very, very oversold and very overbought at the same time. You have about 51 minutes left on this 4-hour close on BTC. London, I was going to say London manipulated, but London just really accumulated. London did drop, but London really accumulated. And now Bitcoin is doing whatever Bitcoin is going to do here. Now the 5-minute is overbought. The 1 minute is bouncing off the trend line here. So you have a little uptrend channel here. But you did, in fact, break this trend line. You do have some resistance right here. So that 91.2 is very, very possible that we pump up to this resistance and then come back down. Now, Bitcoin's not necessarily bullish, guys, but we did bounce off of a 4-hour low, macro low. So what we want to do is we want to take our resistance from here to here. pretty much this area right here. And if Bitcoin bounces off of 91.2 and comes down, great. Or it could go all the way up to 91.8. I don't know if I see that happening because there's a rounded top here in the 1 minute. And you can kind of see that 1 minute is just flaring out here, not really doing too much. Now, I do want to look at total 3 and see how altcoins are faring because I am on some shorts on some altcoins. And obviously, total is recovering a bit here because of Bitcoin. But I don't see total really bouncing up or doing anything until it does hit the bottom. So you're going to see your altcoins are recovering a bit, but not too much. Not too much, not too much. So I called a short on stacks, guys, last night. Hope you guys got a chance to get into it. Now, it is overbought in the 5 with some bearish divergence. Also, the 15-minute is moving up too. Same with this 4-hour, you're moving up a bit. But ultimately, that is up to Bitcoin here, and you guys are going to see Bitcoin is now probably going to start coming down here shortly. You got that 5-minute very, very overbought. The 1 minute is now breaking trend. We're trying to break trend off that rounded top. Okay, so hit that like button, guys. Let's run up the YouTube live today. New York with manipulation. I will say it's pretty crazy how we're oversold here, but you know what? If you look on the RSI, we actually broke the RSI. So kind of faking out, but you hit the top. So pretty much when you hit the top, you're usually going to come back down to the bottom. This looks like a 4-hour recovery and then a continuation back down. Now what I'm going to do, shout out to all the people on the live, guys. I hope you caught the London session. Hope you guys made some money. What I'm going to do, guys, is redraw my channel from here to here. And if I redraw my channel from here to here, that means if Bitcoin breaks 88.4, a lot of people have been asking me if Bitcoin's going to come up to 65K or 70. Well, here's your answer. If Bitcoin breaks 88.4 to 88.5, we're looking at about $65,000 to $67,000 Bitcoin. Right now, we don't have enough data. And the reason we don't have enough data, guys, is because the market is ranging at the bottom of the trend line. Typically, when the market is ranging at the bottom of the trend line, you do not want to short. But in this case, it's a bit different because we are in a downtrend. So typically, I would say no shorting here. But we're in a downtrend. We're probably going to get that recovery on the 4-hour and then continue back down. All right, let's see what some large caps are doing here. XRP is ranging at the conversion line. We dropped all the way down to 203. XRP has some bullish divergence here. T.555, thank you for the thumbnail. Yeah, guys, we put a lot of work into the thumbnail this morning. I like to show you guys my thumbnails because I put a lot of work into it. But here we go. This was made before the New York Live. I just had a feeling we were going to manipulate. And that is essentially what we did. Now, the direction is still not clear. But yeah, XRP has some bullish dive right now. Does it mean anything? Not sure. Because if you look at your overall time frames, we're dropping. But we definitely do have some bullish divergence on XRP. So like I said, guys, if you're just tuning into the live here, there's a possibility we pump all the way up to 91.2. I just got to see how this 4 hour plays out, because you are very, very overbought right here. The 5 minute, you're very, very overbought. The one already broke and is in a bit of a downtrend here, the 1 minute, and going sideways. Yeah, Bitcoin is a wild card right now. That 4 hours is going to make all the difference here. Here's the top of that resistance, though. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a jab at Ethereum and see what Ethereum is doing. I know Aave was dumping like crazy. Altcoins aren't really pumping too much. It is just Bitcoin that is getting some volume. Like, look at Aave, guys. Aave is just bearish. Shout out to the people who shorted Aave. You're making a lot of money. I seen someone short Aave on the chat last night. I can't remember who it was, but if you're shorting Aave, you're prime. Aave's probably going to dump all the way back down to well, there you go. All the way down to 140. That's crazy. So we broke this previous bounce right here as well. So obviously we have a little bit of a double bottom here on Aave, but if Aave ends up breaking this double bottom, we are absolutely going to dump on Aave. So keep this in mind, guys. If we break this double bottom, if we break this double bottom, we are most likely going to come all the way down to here. And we actually have a really, really good fair value gap on Aave too. So you can see here, Aave's breaking that trying to break that fair value gap. But we break this level right here, you're looking at 140. Really, really good short lining up. Okay, so Bitcoin is at 91, so we're probably going to get our 91 too. I would say we're most likely going to get our 91 too. White, good morning. How you doing? Or good evening. Good morning. Good evening. I mean, good evening. Clearly, you can see I haven't had much sleep. So yeah, Bitcoin's most likely going to push up to this 91.2 region. Now, if we break out, that's a whole nother question. The thing is, most altcoins, almost every single altcoin is bearish in the shorter term. But Bitcoin is not bearish. Bitcoin is pumping pretty hard here. So this 4 hour is going to take us to Let's see here. So we got our equilibrium bounce right here. Here's our equilibrium, which is about 91.2, 91.3. I would say we push up to 91.3, 91.2, and there is a possibility we come up to 92. Possibility for sure. It does look like we are breaking out of that 5-minute trend, so we'll have to see. This is why I wanted to do the lives at 9, guys, because okay, so we just hit our equilibrium here around 91.3. You have some bearish dive here too. That 1 minute did break trend. And that 5 minutes very, very oversold. So let's see. If you go to this area here, this is your resistance. New York is just coming to everybody to stop everybody out. That is what New York is doing all day, all day. Stop up the shorts, stop up the longs. It doesn't matter. Well, this should be the resistance right here. So we'll have to see what happens. But if I was shorting, I'd be shorting around right here. And I'd be putting a stop loss. I'd be putting a stop loss above. I don't know. 91.5. I got to see what Bitcoin does on this 4-hour time frame. I don't trust Bitcoin right now. Am I shorting? Yeah, I'm shorting. I'm shorting Bitcoin and I'm shorting stacks, but I definitely don't like this bottom of the 1 hour here. We'll have to see. So this one is fine because stacks has already broken trend. So I'm shorting stacks. I'm shorting Bitcoin. I just don't like how these 1 hours are so oversold. That is my problem right now. BTC squeeze in the 4-hour Bollinger Band's a big move definitely coming. Yep. Let's look at these bands. You're right. You're right. The bands are very, very tight. It looks to me that this is if I was looking at this from a different standpoint, guys, I would say Bitcoin's going to pump. But with that 4-hour dropping, I'm just not sure. Like this is a 4-hour manipulation candle. We actually don't know the direction. I wouldn't even be able to tell the direction right now because the 4-hour is dropping, but the 1-hour is oversold. That's just messing with me very, very hard. And then we're overbought. We're overbought right here. We're overbought in the 5-minute. And we're overbought in the 15. But that doesn't really mean anything because the 15 did break out. So you did get a breakout on the 15-minute. You did get a higher low. All right, guys, hit that like button. Let's run up the YouTube live. Figure out what New York is going to do. It looks like it is going to break the equilibrium. And it looks like we are going to pump probably to, I think 92 is a stretch, but with this double bottom, I think we could pump back to this previous high based on what I'm seeing right now. But we do need to break this equilibrium for us to pump. Let's see. We're breaking this area right here, which is the trend. I don't know. It's going to be a wild card, guys, because the 4-hour is dropping. If shorting is risky, but also longing is risky too. That 1 minute broke, so we're kind of just hanging out in this area. I'm 50-50 on Bitcoin. Altcoins, I'm fine shorting, but Bitcoin, I'm 50-50. What is the top of that equilibrium range? Top of the equilibrium range is time frame are we looking at here? The top is perfectly 91.3. We are rejecting 5-minute overbought. That's a wild card. I say we wait for this 4-hour and we'll get more direction. I don't like that 1-hour oversold. That is the problem. That 1-hour oversold is looking like we could possibly get a big pump today, but that 18-hour is going to be dropping as well too, guys. So, well, the 18-hour is oversold, but the 18-hour is coming down the daily. There's a lot of mixed signals right now in the market. Like, ultimately, guys, we know we broke out in the market. Right there. We know we broke out in the market right here. However, the daily's coming down and the 3-day is dropping. So we need more direction after this 4-hour candle. Amoto, how you doing? Shout out to you. Thank you for coming on the live. If we break this equilibrium, guys, we are going to pump. That's if we break the equilibrium. With us being so overbought on the, oversold on the 1 hour, guys, I would say there's a possibility we definitely pump. But of course, anything could happen, right? Like we are in a little uptrend channel here too. We're just kind of waiting for Bitcoin. That's really it. Waiting to see what Bitcoin does. All right, so 15-minute closed. Four-hour didn't close yet. 1 minute. This 1 minute is such a wild card because we already broke the trend in the 1 minute. And the 5 minutes very, very overbought. What are you guys thinking? Pump or drop? Now we have a fair value gap on the 15-minute time frame. So it looks like it broke out, but looks like it broke out, guys, but man, my coughing is killing me in the morning. I don't know. Sometimes I cough like crazy. But I'm not buying the breakout until, to me, this is not a pump. This is an area where short entries can reload. I would not be surprised if we test Asia's high, but I'm shorting into strength. Yeah. There you go. So Asia's high, if we look at Tokyo's high with accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, New York, Tokyo, yeah. So there's a possibility we do pump to Tokyo's high here to take out Tokyo's high. Very, very big possibility, but we do need to break this equilibrium first. Pump if we can hold 92. Yep, for sure. Bitcoin hit the bottom of the channel, right, guys? So now that Bitcoin hit the bottom of the channel, you know that the market is going to recover a bit. I would say shorting altcoins is still fine because altcoins are whatever altcoins you're shorting. If the 4-hour MACD is dropping, then you should be fine. Olga, good morning. Stacks is refusing to drop. Again, I'm holding this one for, yeah, Stacks is pumping a bit because Bitcoin's pumping. As long as we don't get back inside of the channel, I'm personally holding this one. I am not going to get out of this trade myself. So as long as we are below 39.3, I'm holding it. I'm not getting rid of it. I see the 4-hour MACD still pushing down. I see the 18-hour bearish divergence. The daily is very, very overbought. So I am potentially riding this trade all the way down to here. If it fakes out and gets back inside of the channel, then that is a problem. But for now, if we look at the downtrend, there's a possibility it could come back to 39.3, depending on what Bitcoin's doing. Yeah, possibility we come up to 39.3 one more time, or we drop one more time and then come up, but it is playing a downtrend channel. So whatever the downtrend is right now in stacks, it's pretty much what it's playing. And it looks like Bitcoin is breaking out here, guys. In the shorter term. Yeah, I could see Bitcoin pushing to 92.4, which would be the top of that channel, because right now you're breaking out top of that fair value gap liquidity. We will have to see what the 4-hour does. Oh, I was muted. Sorry. You got one big candle here on Bitcoin. I just don't like how that 1 hour's broke trend. I mean, the 1 minute broke trend. You've got some bearish divergence right here on Bitcoin too, which doesn't really mean anything. Let's see what New York is going to do. If New York is going to rip Bitcoin or what. So yeah, just so you guys know, stacks can come back to 1 or to 39, hypothetically, in that area. Here's one thing I will say, guys. The 18-hour is very, very oversold in the market right now. So if you look at Bitcoin in the 18-hour time frame, we are very, very oversold on the 18 hours. So if Bitcoin did decide to pump for whatever reason, this 18 hours is very oversold. The question mark is that MACD. And typically you don't want to go against that MACD ever, usually. So here's the downtrend right here. 92.1 would be the downtrend on the top of the downtrend on Bitcoin from that Tokyo high. So if we break this downtrend right here, we're going up 100%. If we don't break this downtrend, then we could roll over all the way down to 88K. So it is all up to Bitcoin at this point and the market makers, and see what is going to happen. New York is fun because we always get a move in New York, and it is usually manipulation, which we have manipulation, guys, but let's see. We have a little rising wedge here too in the market, which is good. If you're shorting, it's good. Again, like Professor Carter said, I wouldn't be looking for longs at the moment until we actually break out, because this is just a massive downtrend right now. So but if we break out of here, we're gonna take off. Let's see Solana. I'm not buying this pump until we actually break out, because every time I go against my MACD, it always messes me up. Okay, so Solana hit the bottom, guys, at my 139 target we were looking at on the London session. We're pretty close. Yeah, there we go. Solana hit it perfectly. And Solana did, in fact, break out. And Solana could pump all the way to 145 if this is a true breakout. We'll see what happens. The market is obviously pumping really hard right now. I'm holding my shorts until we break out. If we break out, I'm going to get out of my shorts, obviously, but not liking the 5-minute. I don't like the 15-minute. And I definitely don't like this rising wedge on the 1-minute time frame. Possibility we go up there, though. Okay, let's look at what Stocks is doing here. Okay, yeah, this is definitely pumping pretty hard. So you got a big candle here, obviously, because Bitcoin's pumping. We hit 36.8, so it is good to put a stop loss in profit, guys, when you guys are short. Well, if you guys are shorting, it's good to put a stop loss in profit, because we shorted it here at about 38. You are still dropping initially here on the 4 hour, so we'll have to see what happens. 18 hours dropping as well. I don't know. This is looking like manipulation to me, and it's looking like we're going to continue to drop, but we'll see what happens. So here's the thing. Normally what happens, guys, when a trade breaks trend is you can range from, at this point, 36 to about 39. And now you're going to be in this range. So you're going to find the range. So what you can do is you could play it until it actually breaks the trend. If you look right here, there's a fair value gap down here. So we never even hit the fair value gap on STX. If Bitcoin breaks out, though, this definitely will break out, most likely, and probably pump back up. I don't know. We'll see what happens on Bitcoin. I'm caught MYX on a retrace if you want to take a look for sure. Caesar, how you doing? So remember, guys, when you guys are in shorts or longs, set your stop loss and profit. If you're in profit from a short or a long, always set your stop loss and profit, because that potential trade could go up or go down based on whatever the market is going to do. All right, so if we're looking at MYX, are you in a long or are you in a short? MYX is on a bit of an uptrend here. We're definitely on a bit of an uptrend on MYX, so it did break out here. You could do a rounded bottom to the top and then continue back down. But if we're looking at the daily, I mean the 18-hour, 4 hours overbought, you got a little bearish divergence. And the 15-minute is overbought as well. I would say this could possibly pump to $8, possibly. Let's see, MYX. Yeah, so MYX should pump to about 730, 722 in that area right there. And if we're looking at STX as well on the liquidity gaps right here, you got a huge pump on that 4-hour candle. Yeah, so I would say this is most likely going to hit 39.3 to 39.4. Possibility. It might even start dropping right now, but that is what it looks like. And then after that, if it breaks out, I would not be shorting this. But 39.3 is what I'd be looking at. So on a 3x or a 4x short, guys, that's nothing, right? This could range all the way from like 36 to 39.5. And on a 3x to 4x short, you're just really ranging. Yeah, so Bitcoin's overbought on the 15, overbought on the 5, and the 1 minute has broken trend. So it looks to me that this is going to be possibly a pump and dump. If that 1 minute didn't break trend, I wouldn't say that, but I would say this is probably going to be a manipulation pump and dump. So if we go from right here to right here, there's our resistance. And you got 11 minutes left on this 4-hour candle. Guys, something I want to say as well too is a lot of people try to be in profit right away when they're longing and shorting. It is obviously good to be in profit right away, but if you guys manage your leverage, you could play a range, right? So let's say Bitcoin went from 89 to about 92. Play that range over and over again. Why am I getting married to stacks? I'm not. I'm just going to do what I'll tell you why I'm so bullish on stacks for shorting. Because if you look at this, now this all depends what Bitcoin is going to do, right? But if you look at this is bearish dive all day on stacks. Even the 4 hours got bearish dive, and the dailies got bearish dive, and the 18 hours. So all we need is Bitcoin to drop, right? So I'm holding this. I'm not going to touch it. I'm holding it. I did the same thing with Chili's, guys, and I really regret getting rid of Chili's. Same with Aave. You just got to be patient, right? Because stacks already broke trend. Maybe dollar cost average right here, DCA a bit. If it breaks out, lose the trade. If not, you're playing the range. And there's actually a death cross right here as well in stacks. So you could be getting a little pump for that death cross to play out. And then I'm looking at the drop. Now, I'm not marrying it. I'm just not going to lose out on this potential area where I got a good trade. A lot of people don't like holding trades, but when you have bearish divergence or bullish divergence, if you hold it, you can make 20, 30 grand. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to do in stacks. So we'll see what happens. Trade might not play out, right? Trade might not play out, but if it plays out, it is going to be a dynamite of a trade. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to hold it, and if it breaks out, it breaks out. If not, then obviously we're going to drop. I'm pretty confident on that one. But if it breaks out, I got to lose, right? I'm not going to hold it. BTC has dropped and stacks didn't feel it. Stacks did drop a bit, but here's the thing, guys. When you break trend, again, when you break trend, it is very, very hard to come back inside of the trend. If it was still on an uptrend, I wouldn't short it. No way. I wouldn't even touch it. But because you're on a downtrend, even if it ranges from 36 to 39 and I get in at 38 or 38.5, I'm still winning at the end of the day. I don't even need to look at the trade, right? XRP oversold in the 5. So XRP is major bullish divergence. XRP has major bullish dive. Okay, we got a couple minutes left in this 4-hour candle, guys. Couple more minutes on this 4-hour candle. So XRP is looking pretty good with bullish divergence here. You can see XRP as bullish dive. But it is overbought in the 15-minute. And your 5-minute is very, very overbought. If I'm looking at fair value gaps, if we're looking at fair value gaps on XRP, we've got the 15-minute time frame. You're probably going to look at XRP hitting about 210. We bounced off that fair value gap at 203. We do have bullish divergence on XRP, but we did break the trend on XRP too. So XRP could range around this equilibrium point right here. All right, guys, so Bitcoin has got 4 minutes left on this 4-hour candle, okay? I know a lot of people think I'm crazy holding my shorts right now. But I got to see what the 4-hour does before I make a decision if I want to get rid of my short. The downtrend hasn't broken, so I'm not worried. If the downtrend breaks, there's no way I'm holding a short. No way whatsoever. I will not hold a short. This is crazy, though. The 1 minute has been ranging after a breaking trend, so we'll have to see what happens here. Stacks has a lot of liquidity to the downside. Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm putting out there, right? So if we're looking at that potential trade, I'm basically going to hold this. I'm going to show you guys as long as it doesn't break out. If it breaks out, then I'm not gonna hold it if it breaks out. There's no point. But I got to see what Bitcoin does first here. So looks like the short-term top is in for Bitcoin potentially if we can break this downtrend. This downtrend has to break or I'm not buying it. We're kind of breaking the trend right here. But we're very, very overbought. All right, guys, so we got 1 minute left on, or a couple of minutes left on the 4-hour candle here. Like I said, stacks, it's probably going to hit 39.3. Argil, you trade the 5 minute. I know. A lot of people trade the 5 minute and the 1 minute. So here's my play. If Bitcoin breaks this area, guys, I'm obviously getting out of shorts. I'm not going to hold shorts. That's ridiculous. But if Bitcoin doesn't break this area, I'm going to DCA. I'm going to DCA and short this to the bottom. But what I'm looking for is the 15. So here's the problem about this Bitcoin pump too. Bitcoin looks really good, like it is going to break out. However, you hit the top on Bitcoin right here in the 1 hour. So same thing with the 4 hour, guys. Keep that in mind. We hit the top. Typically for Bitcoin to go back up, we'll need to hit the bottom again. There's a possibility we come back up and form bearish divergence. But what would that be, that high? So that high would be 94.1. So we would have to go above 94.1 to form bearish divergence. If you look at the 8-hour time frame, the 8 hours hasn't crossed yet. It looks like it is about to, but it is overbought. So it all depends what this 4-hour candle does. If this 4-hour candle breaks out, then we're going to pump, and you're looking at 92.4 as the short-term top, essentially. All right, so let's see if Bitcoin's going to continue up here. Okay, so Bitcoin's definitely continuing up. So we're going to push for the top here about 92.1 most likely. 1 hour is going up. Yeah, I could see Bitcoin push into 92.3, 92.4. And then if Bitcoin breaks out of that, guys, that's really it. Then we're going to definitely be bullish for sure, 100%. I would be cautious with this 1 minute though, because the 1 minute is very, very overbought. And the 15 minutes. So now I would say Bitcoin's going to push up to 92.3. If we break out of that, we're gonna pump and we're gonna break out. And then you can look at the 18-hour basically playing out and this bouncing off the 18-hour close. There would be the uptrend right there. But keep in mind, guys, if this doesn't break out, we are going to continue the downtrend and we are going to continue to drop. So 92.2 would be the top. All right, guys, we're going to end the live there. That's the New York session. And with stacks, if it breaks that area, it will break. But you keep in mind, guys, I'm on 3 to 4x on this trade, right? So hypothetically, what could happen here is we could, so this should be the top, but if it wanted to fake out, it could hit it could hit 39.7. Okay, so you guys know. Okay, I don't want to just jump off the live and show you nothing. It could definitely hit if it wanted to break out. Well, around 40 to 39.7. But now your 1 minute's very, very overbought too, right? So that's a couple things with altcoins and Bitcoin at the moment. Prashant, how you doing? So I would say if it breaks out of this, guys, 39.7 to 40. And then at that point, we just got to reanalyze the whole market. I definitely see Bitcoin pushing up to this area. I don't think Bitcoin's going to be dropping until it pushes up here. It could possibly drop because you are very, very overbought, but you can see a fair value gap being created here too. So that's kind of all I got for you guys for the New York session. It's really hard to look at altcoins during the New York session. If we break out, we break out. We're bullish. There we go. If we don't, then we're going to have a further drop. So I'll see you guys on the Tokyo Live tonight. Set your stop losses. Set your stop losses and profit. Make sure you guys use your risk with your capital. And I will see you guys tonight. We'll see what happens with stacks, right? It broke the trend. So all it's really doing is ranging. Is it a possibility it breaks out of the macro? Yeah, there's a slight possibility. It depends what Bitcoin is doing, right? Okay, guys, I hope you guys have an awesome night, awesome day. We'll talk to you during the Tokyo session tonight. And keep an eye on this resistance right here. What time zone? 8:30 p.m. CST, Tokyo time.